I decided to run as a candidate for the Man or Woman of the Year campaign once I realized how close home this campaign was to me. My grandfather recently passed of multiple myeloma, James Charles Watts. We call him JC Watts. He was a hard worker. Once he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, he fought it with bravery and a tough chin. And he has always been and continues to be my inspiration.
My inspiration for running this campaign is really all of my patients. As a physician assistant working with leukemia and lymphoma patients, you don't get the starring role. You're not the physician who treats them, but you're there holding their hand and helping them through all of the little details of their life, making sure that their soul is also being treated. And I think that's really powerful.
I decided to take the nomination and run for candidate this year because it gives me an opportunity to make a difference in this world and raise money for something that affects every single person watching this right now.
I was inspired to work on this campaign because I am a survivor of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I was diagnosed at the beginning of 2015 and was in chemotherapy for a large part of 2015. But I have succeeded with my treatments and the cancer is in remission. And so at this point I'm just on regular monitoring by my doctors. So the cause of battling blood cancers is very near and dear to my heart.
I decided to run as a candidate because for the last 5 years I've been raising funds for LLS, and I've done pretty good, but I've never attempted anything at this scale. What's inspiring me is a desire to just put an end to this disease. And I think this right now is going to be one of the most extraordinary things I do in my entire life.
My inspiration for this campaign is my mother. She passed away from lymphoma 2 years ago. We were really close, and I just feel like there's no greater way of paying tribute to her and saying thanks by raising money for the organization that is dedicated to her illness.
I think my inspiration for this campaign, because it just happened so recently, was our family friend Carol. She has 3 amazing girls that we're friends with, and oh, it makes me so sad thinking about it. Yeah, but she just passed recently, so.
My inspiration for this campaign is our friend Jamin. He was one of the most hardworking, one of the more kind people I've ever known. To lose him was such a shock to all of our friends and family, and I'm thrilled to do this in his honor.
It's not one single person, and it's not one single instance. I do have family members, my grandfather, my uncle, my aunt, all had various cancers, but it's all of them collectively, and so that's what I'm keeping in mind as I push forward.
My main inspiration for this campaign is my grandmother, who passed away from cancer, and watching her struggle was the hardest thing that I've ever gone through. Another inspiration for this campaign is my friend, colleague, and team member, Kurt Sandoval, who is a survivor of cancer and survived leukemia, in part thanks to the progress that organizations like LLS have been making every day.
My inspiration for this campaign is 2 individuals. Kimberly Wertheimer, my stepsister, who is amazing and wonderful. She is a neonatal nurse, and if it wasn't for therapies developed through LLS or research through LLS, she may not be here today, so I am running in honor of her, as well as my grandfather, Paul Suchek, who is a World War II survivor and a staple of his community. He's 93 years old, and he has an infectious energy, and he keeps people really positive.
I initially got involved with LLS because my tennis teacher had just lost her son to leukemia and my brother was fighting lymphoma. And so we both decided the best thing to do was to have a ladies doubles tennis tournament. And we started it in '82, and last year was our final year after 32 tennis tournaments.
My inspiration for this campaign, initially was my cousin Karen and her efforts, and then once I got to know the Boy and Girl of the Year, Aubrey and Cooper, I was truly touched. My heart melted, and I knew that I totally wanted to get behind these two and use them as motivation to run a great campaign.
The inspiration for the campaign for me is my mother. She battled cancer twice and survived both times.
My inspiration for this campaign is my mom. She was diagnosed with leukemia in 2005 and battled leukemia for 3 years, had a stem cell transplant, and we had fortunately 3 wonderful years with her thanks to the treatment that was available, but it was painful and grueling, and seeing her go through that, I really wanted to be a part of helping fund research that is going to make this easier and less painful to be treated for these diseases.
The inspiration for my campaign would be a couple different people actually. My stepdad lost his brother recently to lymphoma, so that definitely is dear to my heart and my family's heart. But last year I fell in love with Mr. Jack Witherspoon, so he definitely took a little piece of my heart, and so I'm definitely running on his behalf as well this year.
My inspiration for this campaign is Aubrey and Cooper. What adorable little ones that have had to suffer and go through what they've gone through. I think when I see those courageous smiles, it makes me want to fight even harder.
The inspiration for my campaign are my parents, Bill and Kathy Hall. In 2001, when I was a freshman year in college, I lost my mother to pancreatic cancer only 4 days after her diagnosis, and then the next day I lost my father to a massive stroke, and my life will never be the same. And so if I can fund treatments that cure cancer, then people won't have to feel that same pain I felt. And I really want to hit the $50,000 mark so I can name a research grant in their name.
My inspiration for this campaign is my father, John Palace. He passed away from AML at age 61, just 60 days after he was diagnosed. I know there was a lot of things left on his bucket list, and I hope that through my campaign we can raise money to help those people battling these diseases so they can check off more things on their bucket lists.
I was immediately inspired by Cooper, the Boy of the Year. His story, it just really touched my heart. To come through that experience and to emerge on the other side, a happy and active little 5-year-old boy, it's inspiring. It really is. And hopefully we can use his story to inspire other families as well. Leukemia Lymphoma Society is hope for so many people. They do the advanced research and development, and they also do the grassroots work of benefiting families in incredibly meaningful but concrete ways.